Hey, you ready to go out there and tackle the industry and start talking to people on seeing how you could prove yourself and make yourself better for the industry? Well, there's interviews for information, and then there's this. Let's talk about it. A common thing that happens to us when we're in this industry is we feel like we don't know enough. The imposter syndrome sets in, and we start to think that if we go to somebody that can give us all the answers, we could start getting everything that we need to start progressing in our career the way that we think we should. The problem that I see with this is that when you put all that onus on that person, they have no idea how they can help you or if they're even going to help you. We go around just becoming motivated idiots because we get so much information brought onto us, and we feel like there's so many different things we could do, so many different perspectives that we can have, that we might actually feel more lost than we did before we even spoke to those people. From personal experience of giving experience or getting it, the best way I found to get your answers is to have something to get feedback on. Did you have a completed portfolio and you're just making sure that the way that you did it and all of the different projects that you have on it represent properly what you want to do? Did you go through a process and you're just trying to make sure, does it make sense within this time frame that I put on all of these activities as a UX designer? Or are you just simply looking to have them look over your UI and see, hey, does this communicate to my customers properly? If you have something that you have prepared beforehand and help navigate the conversation with the person you're with, I can guarantee you that you're going to get results that are actually more beneficial to your actual growth versus just trying to stab in the dark at what they might know in their knowledge, which could be completely irrelevant or useless to you. I'm not saying that the people that are giving you advice are useless, but if you have a particular job that you're going for, if you're trying to move to a certain step within your career, they can give you all of their knowledge that they have in their lifetime, but maybe 5% of it actually applies to what you need right now in your career. So let's get focused. Let's really tune in on what we need so that we can help that person help us. Even on the side of the person giving you feedback, this really helps them to make sure like, hey, you know, when I go out and I help people, they have real problems that I can solve. I'm not just saying anything on my mind that seems to be the most important piece that they should be listening to. I'm actually tailoring my advice to what they need now. And I could see in the next few months how they could have taken that advice and grown with it versus being lost with all of the different things. And then I would feel like, oh, did I waste my time with this person? Did they really listen to me? What are they actually doing? So you want to make sure that both sides are getting this to get better results themselves. So because the responsibility is on you as the person that's asking for advice, there's a few questions you want to ask yourself beforehand. The first one is, what project do I want feedback on? Is it something that's UI related, user research related, or is it just something that you worked on with a few friends and you just needed feedback on? Whatever it is, make sure you decide what is the most important thing that could tell me what I need to know now. The second thing that you'd want to have is make sure that you know which part of the experience you're looking to get feedback on. If you present somebody with your work and it's just like, hey, just give me overall feedback on everything and everything, they're going to be bouncing around trying to look at ideas, and it could be hard for them themselves to focus. Everybody has a limited capacity of giving you the advice, and you're probably time constrained with half hour, an hour. You want to make sure that they are looking and providing you feedback on the things you know you need feedback on because you're uncertain of. It's like doing another usability test. The last thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we set them up with the right amount of context for them to really, really dig into your work and focus on what you need the feedback on. So if you have to tell them, hey, this is how we were looking at from a strategy on the business perspective, this is what we were doing on terms of research, this is how we found out these conclusions for our answers, and we just want to get another look at it. You want to let them know briefly, not take up your whole time because your time and their time is valuable, but briefly fill them in on what are the important pieces that they need to know so they can get a bit of a more full picture of It's experience itself. And I think that's so important and it's good to have. One thing that I noticed when I was going in the industry and talking to more people is people love providing value in this field. That's what we're looking to do. Listen to people, understand their problems, and try to help them solve those problems. And what you're doing is really allowing them to put on their problem-solving brain and their UX design thinking brain of, okay, now I understand what the user's problem is. Now I understand what your concerns are, who is going to be technically the business, and now I need to know, how do I align those two things? If you give them a whatever is fine, they're gonna not be able to give you the same value that you've looked at them in their research and their UX skills and their UI skills to come to products that make you be like, yeah, I want to learn from this person. So it's really good to set it up, because for them right now, the important thing for them to do is catch you where you are and help guide you to where you want to be. So you want to make sure that they have as much understanding of where you are now so they can see a bit of those next steps with you, not for you. I also found this method to be way better when it comes to cold reaching out to people. When you reach out to people, there's a little bit of, I don't know what to say to them. I don't know how to bring them into my world or let them get a little bit about me. And if you just go with the, I want to pick your brain mentality, it just comes off a little bit dry, as you can't really go into detail as to why they would be a good person to pick your brain. You want to set it up. It would be like, you know what? I've seen the work that's been done at X company on, I imagine that the research is really done really well because I saw you on the team. So I really appreciate getting your feedback on these designs of mine. Could I borrow a few minutes of your time so that we can talk about it? That makes it a little bit more conversational, and it makes it a little bit easier for them to be like, oh, you know what? I do have a lot of things and you could show me that. Yeah. If that's what you're looking for feedback on, I know I could do that. Or if they're like, you know what, I can't do this, I can provide this other feedback, that's great too. Maybe they even say, well, I know somebody that knows particularly how to solve that, and they actually worked on that project a little more than me. I'm gonna refer you. Sometimes you get the random person that doesn't respond back, they're too busy, they can't be bothered, whatever it is, that's okay too. That means that that's just not somebody that's gonna be one of your guides along this journey. That's cool. But we really wanna get into the sense of making it easier to talk to people and connect with people versus just letting them think that anything is good, wild, wild west. And with all this said, I'm not telling you that you cannot have informational interviews. There are a lot of things that you could find out from industry professionals, at least to what help prepare you on a mental level and a psychological level of what are the next steps that I need to do and I need to have. But I am saying that you want to warm their brain up to showing that you're using yours and saying, hey, I have this problem, I just need your help to figure it out. And then from there, you would ask the questions of, so what is the job market like? What are some things that you really think I should be looking out for? Because they have a frame of reference for you based on how you present your work, how you provide context, and the type of work you've done. So it's a win-win for both sides on really helping to match you two together. And just remember, this is a learning process. It's gonna take time to get accustomed to it. And as long as you're showing that you're using your brain first, trust me, the door is open for you for so many other people that wanna use theirs to help you. So if you have any other tips or thoughts on this subject, just leave a comment below. Remember to like and subscribe to this video, and don't forget, this is just guides to help you with your own journey. Take it, learn from it, and let's grow together through design. Peace.